Jack's story starts when he suddenly wakes up in the middle of a forest. Very quickly, he notices something is wrong. He can't move his body at all. Then a mysterious voice speaks to him and informs him that he has been reincarnated as an egg. The voice says it is one of his abilities and begins listing his other stats and skills. Jack starts wondering if he somehow ended up inside a video game, but the voice refuses to answer further questions because he is only level 1. This frustrates him, but before he can think more, he slips from a tree. The voice calmly announces that he has obtained a fall resistance skill and even earned the title Klutz. Feeling like he's being made fun of, he keeps rolling downhill and nearly drops into a river. When he finally sees his reflection in the water, the shock hits him. He really is an egg. The voice explains he is currently an F-rank monster, and if his shell breaks, he will die instantly. Since rolling is the only thing he can do, he continues moving around. After tumbling down the slope again, his rolling ability reaches level 2, allowing him to slightly control his direction and dodge obstacles. Still, he takes damage from a fall and realizes he could easily die, so he decides to stay still and recover. By evening, his condition improves, and he starts moving again. He begins wondering how he's supposed to hatch, especially if he's meant to eventually become a dragon. He figures leveling up must be the key to evolution, but fighting seems impossible when rolling is his only attack. Soon, he spots a creature in the forest. After checking its information, he learns it's a dark worm, and worse, it eats eggs. The monster notices him hiding and lunges to devour him. Panicking, Jack rolls away, yet the worm keeps chasing relentlessly. He understands he has to defeat it somehow, but a direct fight would guarantee his defeat. Instead, he leads the creature toward a cliff. At the edge, he dodges its attack, making the worm fall over. Seeing his chance, he slams it repeatedly against the ground. He believes he has won, but terror strikes when the worm suddenly rises again. Just as he thinks it's over for him, the creature collapses for real. The voice announces he has gained enough experience to reach level 5, the maximum for his current form, meaning he can evolve. However, he must choose between 2 paths. One option is a lesser dragon, a bear-sized creature feared by adventurers for its fire breath. The other is a baby dragon, far weaker and not suited for combat yet, but capable of evolving into many different dragon types later. The safer choice seems to be the lesser dragon, but then he hears another mysterious voice encouraging him to grow stronger and aim higher. The system mentions that the divine voice has reached level 2. Jack wonders if that's what he heard, though it feels different. After thinking carefully, he realizes the lesser dragon has limited future growth, while the baby dragon holds greater potential, so he chooses the baby dragon. During the evolution, the system reports several new skills and improved stats, though his HP is still low, forcing him to rest. He even thanks the worm for helping him level up, but staring at its body makes him hungry. His dragon instincts push him to eat it. Even though the idea disgusts him, he believes it will heal him faster, so he reluctantly devours it. The following day, Jack checks his reflection again. He can't remember anything from his past life, but he concludes he has been reborn in an RPG-like world. When more worms appear around him, he attacks them and notices how much easier fighting has become with his new form. After reaching level 3, he learns a skill called Baby Breath and uses it to burn the worms. He keeps hunting different monsters. And after reaching level 7, he unlocks a new ability called Dragon Punch, an attack where his burning fists smash the enemy. Later, he manages to choke a worm and his level jumps all the way to 15, but hunger hits him again. He realizes he has to eat something, yet he absolutely hates the idea of eating worms. Then he notices some mushrooms growing nearby and decides to try those instead. Unfortunately, they turn out to be poisonous, leaving him feeling terrible. The system voice then announces his klutz skill has increased to level 3, which makes him feel like it's teasing him once more. Wanting better food, he searches for another target and soon encounters a gray wolf. Seeing that his stats are higher, he confidently attacks and defeats it using Dragon Punch, then roasts it with his baby breath. The smell reminds him of barbecue, and he's shocked by how tasty it is. After enjoying the meal, he starts regularly hunting gray wolves. Eventually, he reaches level 20 and learns he can evolve again at level 25, but leveling begins to slow. With no one to talk to besides the divine voice, he grows bored. One day, he hears unfamiliar sounds in the forest, people speaking a language he can't understand. He spots a group of adventurers and realizes he is individually stronger than any of them. Though together, they could still defeat him. Because he's a dragon, he can't properly communicate, so he tries acting cute, hoping they'll accept him as a friend. They gather and talk among themselves, making him think his plan worked, but suddenly their leader Dawes attacks. A mage follows with a spell that paralyzes him. He understands they intend to kill and possibly eat him, and he regrets his foolish attempt at befriending them. However, their healer suddenly takes pity on him. She stops the others from finishing him off and heals his injuries, gently asking if he's all right. Jack feels thankful for her kindness while the rest of the party, confused, moves ahead without her. He learns the girl's name is Miria, though she is exhausting her mana by helping him. And he realizes he could leave once the paralysis fades. Instead, he pretends to remain hurt, so she stays nearby, earning him the title liar. As she continues speaking, he slowly begins understanding her words. The system informs him he has acquired the Greek language skill, and he believes improving it will help him communicate. Suddenly screams echo from her companions. She rushes to help, but he senses a powerful monster approaching and tries to stop her. Knowing she has no mana left to fight, he worries for her. Yet she says goodbye and runs off anyway. He attempts to follow, but can't move because of the paralysis. After it finally wears off, he hurries after her and soon discovers a C-rank creature, a little rock dragon. He instantly realizes he stands no chance. From the situation, he concludes the monster attacked Miria. And then it notices him and tries to crush him, forcing him to leap aside. He hides in the bushes, terrified because he knows the creature could kill him easily, but he also sees that Miria is still alive. As the monster prepares to finish her, he hesitates. Voices in his head urge him to escape or he'll die, and logically, he knows he can't win. Yet, remembering how she saved him before, he gathers his courage and decides to step in and help her. Jack rushes straight toward the rock dragon and slams into its head. During the chaos, he realizes the party's mage has already been killed, though Dawes is somehow still alive. To protect Miria and Dawes, he keeps provoking the monster, hoping to draw its attention and lead it away from them. However, the creature activates a tremor attack that knocks him to the ground, making him understand he won't be able to dodge every strike and needs a new plan. The dragon moves in to bite him, but he suddenly lunges forward and lands a powerful dragon punch. For a moment, he thinks the blow worked. Yet the monster survives and even regenerates its health. Seeing no chance of victory, he decides to retreat. He grabs Miria and prepares to escape with her. He also wants to rescue Dawes, but realizes he only has time to save one person. The dragon attempts to crush him again, though he narrowly manages to flee. Still, Miria is badly injured and bleeding. Since he can't use healing magic, he plans to carry her somewhere safe. He senses humans nearby and begins searching for them, but a group of wolves appears and surrounds him. Forced to fight, he gently lays Miria down and battles the pack. She regains consciousness briefly and witnesses him protecting her. Completely worn out, he eventually reaches a human village and tries to get their help. Unfortunately, the villagers only see a roaring dragon and assume he's hostile, and one of them even stabs him. He attempts to show he means no harm and only wants to save Miria, but they can't understand his words. With no other choice, he carefully places her down and gestures for them to take care of her. Even then, they continue attacking, so he retreats. As he leaves, he hopes she will be safe, but sadly accepts that humans will never trust him because he is a dragon. 2 days later, Miria wakes up, greeted by a girl named Marielle, who is relieved to see her conscious. Marielle explains she treated Miria's severe injuries from that night. When Miria asks how long she has been asleep, Marielle tells her it has been 2 days. Miria then asks about the others. Marielle sadly reveals the mage was found dead in the forest, clearly killed by the rock dragon. She calls Daz reckless for challenging such a monster. When Miria asks about Daz, Ariel says they never found his body and believe monsters must have eaten him, since survival would have been impossible. Realizing she was the only survivor, Miria blames herself for not stopping him. Though Marielle reminds her he never listened to warnings anyway. A flashback shows Daz killing a wolf that attacked the village while children cheer for him. He brushes off their praise, saying he didn't do it for admiration. It becomes clear he had always defended the village from monsters, which is why the kids looked up to him. Later, Miria overhears him arguing with his companions, who insist he cannot defeat the rock dragon and remind him he once fled from it. Daz claims things are different now and insists he will prove himself. He asks Miria to join him on the hunt, but she warns that Marielle ordered them to stay away because the dragon is the strongest creature nearby. Daz says he already got permission and explains he'll likely die without a healer, so he needs her in his party. After hesitating, Miria agrees to go, but makes it clear they must retreat if the situation becomes too dangerous. Back in the present, Marielle says that Daz's arrogance ultimately led to his death. She surprised Miria even managed to return to the village, considering how serious her injuries were. Miria admits she can't remember how she got back. Marielle assumes some monster must have brought her there, though Miria explains the rock dragon had knocked her unconscious. Thinking about it, she recalls Jack fighting off wolves and wonders if he was the one who carried her. When she asks what the creature looked like, Marielle says she never saw it because it had already disappeared before she arrived, leaving Miria to suspect it really was Jack. Elsewhere, Jack wakes up and notices his wounds are already healed thanks to a dragon's natural recovery ability. He begins wondering if Miria is safe and remembers how powerless he was against the rock dragon, deciding he must become stronger. Soon he spots a worm hanging from a tree calling for help, and several others gather around it, only for Jack to suddenly attack and knock them all away. He reveals he used the worm's distress skull skill to lure them together. The system announces he has earned the wrongdoer title, making him worry he's becoming evil, and he vows not to repeat that tactic. Still, since he needs experience to evolve, he burns the worms with his flames and finally reaches level 25. The voice informs him he can now evolve and shows him an evolution tree containing 5 choices. The system explains that creatures labeled little have size restrictions, fewer abilities, and limited evolution paths, but their stats grow quickly. The first option is a mini dragon, which can later develop into a higher species but grows slowly and offers few future evolutions. The second is the mini angel dragon, capable of white magic yet weak in battle. The third option, Kid Dragon, is simply a stronger form of what he currently is, while the fourth, Kid Marble Dragon, is notable for its magical abilities. Jack finds every option appealing, but still can't decide. Then the system presents the final path, the Young Plague Dragon, the initial stage of a disaster-bringing evil dragon. He immediately dislikes the idea because he doesn't want to become a villain. However, the voice adds that this form is extremely intelligent and can even transform into a human to enter villages. Hearing this, he hesitates. The chance to interact with humans, especially to visit Miria's village, makes the option tempting, though he worries about turning evil. After thinking it over carefully, his desire for the human transformation wins out. He chooses to evolve into the young plague dragon, but once the transformation finishes, he notices his appearance looks menacing, making him question his decision. The system announces his analyze ability has reached level 3, allowing him to check detailed skill information, and lists several new dark-type abilities he has learned. He dislikes them because they sound dangerous. Yet the voice also reports his wrongdoer title has leveled up, and he has even gained a new title, Calamity. He starts wondering why he still hasn't unlocked the ability to turn into a human, and asks the system what he must do to obtain it. But the voice once again refuses to give a clear answer. Feeling discouraged, he instead asks about the new abilities he received. The system explains one skill, Dragon Scale Powder, lets him flap his wings and release a harmful miasma that weakens anything exposed to it. At maximum level, it could even wipe out entire civilizations. When he tests it and accidentally kills a nearby flower, he realizes he has basically become a walking biological weapon. Another ability, Diseased Breath, spreads a contagious sickness that heavily weakens targets, and the system says this power could also destroy civilizations. Rather than feeling proud, he becomes worried because humans would only fear him. He then asks about the titles he obtained. The voice mentions one called Itty Bitty Hero, earned when he saved Miria, and says it strongly affects his possible evolution paths. He believes leveling that title might prevent him from becoming an evil dragon. Then the system explains the wrongdoer title, which boosts damage from dark-type attacks, but makes learning white magic harder and also influences his evolution. Hearing that, he regrets his actions. Meanwhile, Marielle is explaining to Miria that warding stones surround their village and form a protective boundary. Miria asks if they stop monsters from attacking, and Marielle clarifies they are more like charms that discourage monsters from approaching, though strong-willed ones can't ignore them. Miria keeps asking questions about monsters, making Marielle curious about her interest. Miria admits a baby dragon may have saved her in the forest. Marielle jokingly wonders if she's grown attached to it, but Miria denies it, and Marielle goes on to describe how monsters evolve. She explains monsters hunt others to gain levels and evolve each time they reach their limit, becoming stronger forms. When Miria asks how humans learned all this, Muriel says that long ago, certain people could hear divine voices and shared that knowledge. She adds that monsters naturally seek power, so even if a baby dragon once helped Miria, it might later evolve into something dangerous and attack her. Back to Jack. He decides he must level up no matter what, so he can gain the human transformation ability and visit the village. He searches for weaker prey, but suddenly notices he is trapped in a web and a giant spider appears behind him. Realizing it's stronger, he watches it shoot webbing at him. He counters with baby breath, burning the web and setting the creature ablaze. Seeing it unable to move, he slashes it with his venom claws to paralyze it, yet the damage is minimal and only enrages it. He chooses to escape while it's immobilized, but it quickly resumes chasing him, the paralysis already gone. Remembering he learned the fly skill, he tries to use it, but nothing happens, leading him to suspect his level is still too low. He keeps sprinting away from the spider while the system announces his roll skill has reached level 3. Soon he notices a cliff ahead. For a moment, he considers turning back, but he figures the spider won't be able to follow if he can cross to the other side. So he charges forward and leaps with all his strength. Spreading his wings, he manages to glide across safely and believes he escaped, yet he wonders why the spider suddenly vanished. Then he spots a web stretched between the cliffs and the spider jumps toward him again. Panicking, he bolts away. His roll skill climbs to level 4. though he barely cares since he's just trying to survive. A wolf blocks his path, and he crashes straight through it, sending it flying. The system reports his level rising, and after plowing through more monsters, he unexpectedly reaches level 8. Thinking his stats are now high enough, he decides to confront the spider directly, but the creature fills the area with poisonous gas. He leaps onto a tree and realizes he survived thanks to his poison resistance. The spider waits below, expecting him to die, so he pretends the poison worked. When it comes in to finish him, he suddenly attacks, burning it and slamming it into the ground. The system announces he has reached level 14 and gained a new skill called Dragon Tail. Excited, he wonders if he also unlocked human transformation, but the voice gives no answer, leaving him discouraged. Later that night, Jack rests inside a cave and prepares a wolf for dinner, but notices the smell is strange. He experiments by adding fruit juice to the meat and, after tasting it, is shocked by how good it is. Enjoying the meal, he decides to use the cave as his base and gathers more of the fruit as seasoning. Since it's sticky and moist, he plans to dry it outside during the day to preserve it. He even imagines his cooking might make him popular with villagers, though he knows that won't happen unless he gains the transformation ability because his appearance is frightening. Meanwhile, Miria speaks with an old man named Bertz, who claims he saw Dawes while fishing. According to him, Dawes was walking through the forest silently before disappearing. Other villagers think he imagined it, but Miria wants to investigate and asks Marielle for permission to go into the forest. Marielle refuses, saying it's far too dangerous and promising she will request the guild to search for Dawes instead. The next day, Jack washes his face and notices a strange puddle nearby, suspecting it might actually be a monster. When he tries to check its information, a sharp pain hits his head and the system says his analyze skill can't identify it. After the skill reaches level 4, he tries again, but the data remains blurred. It's frightening him because the creature might be far stronger than him. The moment he thinks he's safe, the slime suddenly lunges at him without warning. For a split second, it looks like he's done for, but he reacts just in time and narrowly escapes. Breathing heavily, he decides it's not worth the trouble and leaves the slime alone. Instead of wasting energy, he turns and heads deeper into the forest in a different direction. A few minutes later, something catches his eye, a perfectly shaped pot sitting quietly on the ground. It looks clean, sturdy, and exactly what he needs to store fruit. He bends down and picks it up. Big mistake. The pot instantly snaps back to life. It twists and reveals its true form, a D-rank monster known as a pottertwise, a living container with a hard shell. Without hesitation, he throws a dragon punch straight at it. The attack lands cleanly, but barely scratches it. Confused, he assumes he didn't use enough strength. So this time, he puts everything into his next strike. The hit connects hard, but the creature calmly activates its rest skill and regenerates all its health back to full. That's when frustration kicks in. He rushes forward and tries brute force, grabbing it and attempting to overpower it physically. But its shell is unbelievably tough. Then a realization hits him. This isn't a turtle, it's a tortoise. And tortoises are terrible swimmers. He lifts it up and throws it straight into the nearby river. Problem solved. Almost immediately, the system's voice echoes in his mind. He's gained 36 experience points and reached level 15. A few of his other skills level up as well. That small victory lifts his mood a bit. But just as he prepares to move on, he freezes. Ahead of him, another group of pottertisses appears. That's when it clicks. The one he tossed into the river must have called for backup before sinking. And judging by their angry expressions, they definitely didn't appreciate what happened to their companion. One by one, they begin stacking on top of each other, forming a towering pile. He leaps high into the air, grabs one of them mid-motion, and hurls it straight into the rest. The impact sends the entire stack crashing down in chaos. When the dust settles, they're all defeated. The system announces a massive gain, 594 experience points. In a single battle, he jumps from level 15 to level 30. That kind of leap makes him feel proud. Still, one thing annoys him. Every time he defeats one of these pot monsters, the shell gets destroyed, which means he still doesn't have a proper pot to use. He continues wandering through the forest, thinking about his progress. Only 10 more levels until his next evolution. Yet he still hasn't unlocked human transformation. He can't help but wonder how long it will truly take. Then, suddenly, he stops. An eerie aura washes over the area. Heavy footsteps shake the ground. Instinctively, he hides inside nearby bushes and watches carefully. In the distance, a massive bear walks slowly between the trees. But something about it feels wrong. He tries to check its stats, but he's too far away. The system only reveals limited details. It's roughly the same rank as him. That means if he fights smart, he might win. The creature is called a clay bear, a beast shaped like a bear but made entirely of clay. An idea forms in his mind. If he defeats it, he could mold its body into a real pot. Finally, a proper storage solution. The bear hasn't noticed him yet. This could be his chance for a sneak attack. He climbs up a tree, drops down silently, and prepares his fire punch. But at the last possible second, the bear spins around. Its chest splits open, revealing massive claws that nearly tear him in half. He barely manages to escape. Using his speed, he begins a hit-and-run strategy. Slowly, he chips away at the bear's health until it's nearly at half HP. Victory feels close. Then the bear activates regeneration. In seconds, all its wounds disappear. Its HP is fully restored. He grits his teeth. If that's how it wants to play, then he'll adapt. He keeps attacking in bursts, planning to exhaust its MP so it can't heal anymore. For a while, the strategy works. But just as he prepares another strike, the bear lets out a deafening roar. Suddenly, a violent sandstorm erupts. Sharp clay spikes grow along his back, limiting his movement and ruining his hit-and-run rhythm. The bear then rips spikes from its own body and launches them like deadly spears. He dodges carefully. And that's when he notices something important. Each time a spike hits the ground, fragments of soft clay break off. An idea sparks instantly. The next time a spike flies toward him, instead of dodging, he catches it. Quickly, he reshapes the soft clay in his hands, compressing it into a solid ball. Channeling his strength, he combines it with his powerful meteorite attack and launches it straight at the bear. The clay bear collapses. It's over. The divine voice announces 300 experience points gained. He levels up from 30 to 33. He now has full access to clay material. Satisfied, he heads home and carefully begins crafting a pot using the clay he gathered. As the pot slowly hardens and takes shape, he decides to return to the forest in search of food. While exploring, he discovers strange wild plants he's never seen before. Unfamiliar, unusual, and possibly dangerous. Curiosity pulls him forward, but caution keeps him alert. Meanwhile, Miria is shown pushing deeper into the forest, ignoring Mariel's warnings to stay away. She refuses to turn back. If there's even the slightest chance that DA is alive, she can't just sit and wait. The old man's rumor about seeing Dawes might not be true. But what if it is? She refuses to gamble with that possibility. As she moves forward, a dark worm suddenly appears in her path. Without hesitation, she unleashes a powerful fire-based attack. She takes a slow breath and reminds herself of one simple rule: don't panic. She should be able to make it through the forest without anything going wrong. While she struggles with fear, he is having a completely different experience. He's busy examining the various fruits and vegetables growing in the wild, carefully observing their shapes, textures, and smells. He never expected the forest to contain so many unique food sources. But Miria is still out there. With every step she takes deeper into the trees, the air feels heavier. The sounds seem louder. Her heartbeat begins to race in her chest. The deeper she goes, the more her confidence fades. Eventually, she reaches a point where her fear almost overwhelms her. That's when she makes a decision. She'll only check the outer edge near her village. After that, she'll turn around and go home. Later that night, he returns home feeling accomplished. The clay bowl he crafted earlier has finally hardened and is ready to use. Excited, he fills it with the vegetables and meat he collected during the day and prepares himself a proper meal. The moment he takes his first bite, his eyes widen. It's delicious. Easily the best thing he has ever tasted. Still, the bowl isn't perfect. It's slightly uneven, a bit uncomfortable to drink from. He frowns, but doesn't let it ruin the moment. Tomorrow, he'll make a better one, stronger, smoother, more practical. The next morning, the scene shifts to a carriage rolling quietly through a valley. Inside sits a noblewoman known as Princess Melkia. She is gently awakened by the two adventurers traveling alongside her. They peer toward the nearby forest and quickly conclude that this must be the same forest the guild assigned them to investigate. Back in the woods, he has just returned from hunting wolves. After cleaning and gutting them, he lays their pelts out in the open forest to dry properly in the fresh air. But there's a problem. A group of monkeys keeps showing up whenever he leaves the pelts unattended. They chew on them, tear at them, and ruin his hard-earned work. And it's starting to seriously irritate him. Annoyance slowly turns into cold calculation. With a dark expression, he decides that the next batch of pelts will be coated in poison. If the monkeys insist on stealing from him, they'll pay the price. Determined, he heads out to search for poisonous plants. Soon he finds himself standing in a wide field filled with bright, beautiful flowers. But despite their vibrant colors, he can sense the danger radiating from them. The entire area is packed with toxic vegetation, and that's when he notices something unexpected. A creature he has never seen before. He quickly appraises it and learns its name: Venom Princess Lerta. What catches his attention the most is that this monster possesses only poison-related abilities. Every single skill revolves around venom. The Venom Princess suddenly darts away the moment she notices him. He assumes she got frightened and fled, but he underestimates her. Without warning, she reappears from nowhere, lunges forward, and bites him lightly on the neck before instantly retreating again. He stands there, confused. Why would she bite so lightly? Why run away instead of finishing the fight? Then it hits him. A violent surge of poison explodes through his body. The sensation is unlike anything he has ever experienced. His muscles tighten painfully. His vision blurs. He drops to his knees as numbness spreads rapidly. Moments later, he collapses face first onto the ground. That's when he realizes the truth. This was her plan all along. She never intended to fight him head-on. The single bite was enough. And that brings us to the end of episode 4. The stakes are rising, and every moment is leading to something bigger. Make sure you don't miss the next episode, where the story continues to get even more exciting.